since 3rd May 2023. Periods of calm are frequently interrupted by sudden violence. Jiribam is an example of it. The death of a tribal woman followed by an encounter and subsequent killing of 6 Meiteis led to commotion that has not ended yet. This was followed by disappearance of Kamal Babu. On Thursday, hundreds from the Kuki-Zo community in Chura Chandpur came together to attend the funeral of 10 armed militants who they describe as village volunteers. They were shot down in an encounter when they attacked a CRPF picket. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Biren Singh announced the discovery of a key piece of evidence in the missing man's case. On Thursday, women in Imphal also took out a torch rally against the disappearance of Kamal Babu. And this issue has actually become so contested that the matters have reached the highest quarters in Delhi. The Chief Minister himself, from his own account, had tweeted this. And Imphal continues to simmer because this has become a bigger issue. But then we are talking about 583 days. And I have some larger issues that I'll take up with my guests. And I have summed up in 4 parts. The first part will be, when I say dates, 583 days and counting. When will the peace return? That's the first fundamental question I'm going to raise. 583 days and counting, when will peace return to the valley? The second issue which I am going to take is, where does the buck stop in Manipur? Is it CM, MHA or security advisors? Third issue, which people say sometimes, are we going for a resolute action or are forces behaving like peacekeepers, holding the ground right now? Fourth, is decisive action missing? These are the issues we are going to discuss. These are the 4 parameters of debate. And let me introduce my guests. I am joined by T. Michael Haukip Lamjathang, spokesperson Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me. I am also joined by Dr. Ramanand Singh. He is Associate Professor, Delhi University. Thank you. And Hirang Misao, social activist. And the visuals you see in middle are from Imphal. These are the visuals of the protests. So, let me straight away go to Misao. Misao, you always complain that you are given the chance to speak only at the last. So I begin my show with you today. Hijang. And my question to you is, what is the issue that needs to be discussed when it comes to Manipur, because it's 583 days and counting? Misao.
Well, Kartiki, thank you for the show once again. It's not that I'm complaining, but I was just raising my concern when I was speaking. I don't want to be distracted by any other things, for which I was saying I want that space to be given when I'm speaking. Now, 582 days. It's still counting. And I've been I was in one part of the country where I was meeting lots of people speaking on the importance of peace building and conflict resolution. Now, what I have seen in Manipur, right now I'm sitting in Manipur with the chilling cold. Just imagine 583 or 82, and it's almost getting 2 years. And there's no sign of peace here in Manipur. And what comes to my mind is if the central government is not serious about peace in Manipur, in whose hand peace lies? That's the biggest question that I asked to myself. And finally, I came to conclusion that, I mean, the two warring community, they should they should make the peace, or they should build the peace by themselves. If the external forces is not concerned about peace in Manipur, what choice do we have? You look at the kind of suffering that our peoples are going through. Now winter is coming, and people living in the relief camps without proper doors and windows, the chilling cold winds blowing, and with no proper blankets, how difficult it would be. Just imagine. And thousands of young people who should be in schools and learning, their education environment has been vitiated badly by all these situations that keep escalating one after the other. An unfortunate thing was like we haven't come to our sense in spite of the suffering that we went through. Now, in every kind of conflict, we must not forget who suffered the most. It's the children, the women, the aged, and the poor people. The better of people with better economic family won't be the one who suffer the most. Now, from today, I was thinking, what would be the future of the people of Manipur? I cannot imagine, because Manipur is the powerhouse in sports. When it comes to education, we are not second to anyone. And we are also excelling in all the sectors, in all the fields. Now, this young generation with full talents, skills, I mean, they are not getting all this opportunity. I mean, the whole environment has been like fully disturbed, and there's no peace at all. Just imagine, in such given circumstance, how would a child concentrate on the studies? The economy of the state is going down, and there's no governance at all. And even in spite of that, the central government is like even still apathy towards the suffering of the people. Now, what I'm saying is like we must both
I
the
need to
warring
stop you here.
communities.
I'll come to you again.
Government
The
not-
discussion will take place in three parts. I have given you the chance to open the debate for us. You have opened it. You have said that there is no governance. Okay, fair enough. Dr. Ramanan Singh, what is the issue? There are 4 points which are raised. Is the governance part fractured? Is it because we don't know where the buck stops? I mean, these are the hard questions which we need to raise.
Yes, absolutely true. You can see the whole scenario from the beginning, and we are all observing that. From the beginning itself, the how the situations had changed to communal situations than the ache of the governance. This is totally a lack of what we call as the commitments, seriousness on the part of the governments. Side by side, the anxiety and the
Yes,
frustration.
I know you are not the spokesperson of the government. Who is in charge? But
Yeah,
I'm just asking who is in charge. I mean to say, is
See,
Biren Singh completely in charge?
this is what I'm
is
saying.
someone in
Is
Delhi completely in charge? Or the advisor are in charge? Where does the buck stop? I know in Uttar Pradesh, buck stops with Yogi Adityanath. The buck stops with him. Where does the buck stop? Here.
That is what I am saying. The person who has to take responsibility of whole process is the CM and its missionaries, including the governors, as far as the state is concerned. But today we have seen that there is advisors from the center who is working as advisors for the force and the law and orders, appointed by sent by the centers but appointed by the governments of Manipurs. And now the point here is total mess up in the governance systems for the Manipurs. Here is nobody can tell that who is in charge, of controlling the situation in Manipur, either is the Home Ministry or the ministers or the governors or advisors. Nobody can tell. Till now, the ache of the governance shows that there is a multiple dimensions in the administrations. Nobody can tell you what exactly happened, what is the real issues and how to control it. Now every day you can see some, few days people are saying, slow down of the process, slow down of the, protests, but suddenly it erupts due to the conflict between two communities. Now who will control? Nobody has no ideas on it.
Okay.
This is what,
Fair enough. You are saying there is a multiplicity of
total
authority.
chaos.
Let me get Lamjathang. You made your point. Let me get Lamjathang. Lamjathang, you're the spokesperson. You have also been a victim of violence. Your house got attacked. One thing I want your opinion, point blank, and don't mince any word. Is there an absence of decisive action? Is there absence of decisive action?
No, absolutely. The central government is committed and they are decisive enough. We cannot blame only the central government. It is the people and the warring communities both have to be in talking terms. We should not only blame to the government, because the government headed by the chief minister is still allowed to function effectively, and the 10 MLAs also continue to carry out their duties, except that they are unable to attend physically in the assembly sessions. It is wherever there is a problem or a violence, it comes up. That has been politicized and that is used to instigate the people, and then it's a kind of political, opportunities which many of the politicians try to take up. Instead of focusing more on peace, they try to come up with the chance of leadership and try to focus more on the political opportunism. This is one such, one such point that makes the violence keeps on continuing.
But Mr. Lamjathang, if people would have been happy with you, both the inner and outer MPs would have come from Bharatiya Janata Party. I mean, so there is something that has gone wrong, that your state has elected 2 Congress MPs.
No,
लोगों में नाराजगी तो है आप लोगों से.
No, we accept the public mandate, but it doesn't make any difference, because the fringe elements takes over, and then moreover the society has been taken over by the anti-peace people than the pro-peace people. This is the only thing. So that because of the emotions of the people, that emotion is a very dangerous kind of thing. So the central government also do not want to use hammer and tongue to control the riots or the public. So they are assessing, and definitely it's limping back to normalcy little by little.
Okay. Manipur Congress, let me play out this fight. Manipur Congress on Friday said that the Manipur has been suffering for 19 months and they organized a sort of a media brief. Let me play out the bite of Keshav Meghachandra from New Delhi.
Very unfortunate that we cannot do our rights to protest against the present unprecedented turmoil here. So we are not able to do our sit-in protest here today at Delhi. So despite of many people come from Manipur to Delhi for the proposed sit-in protest, it is very unfortunate that we cannot do our protest here. So we cannot do the protest today now. Even if the authority declined to issue the ground permissions, our protest, our movement will not stop. We will we will continue our protest in different forms. Today also, we are just coming out from the PMO office. We have submitted our memorandum to Prime Minister by our team Manipur on behalf of the people of Manipur. This is the letter, this is a copy which we have submitted to the PMO office to the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. And friends, in this memorandum, we are requesting Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, to visit once in Manipur. This is the long demand of the entire people of Manipur.
So now the question is, Misao, is it about the rule of law or is it about the leadership when we talk about the Manipur crisis? To you, Misao, 2 minutes.
Kartiki, if the rule of law has to be applied, then president rule has to come. Now, I would say it is a total failure of the leadership, both in the central and the state, for which the situation is still, prolonging in spite of the immense suffering of the people. Now, I would clearly say this is the total failure of the leadership in the central government and in the state, because the entire population, as you have already asked the BJP spokesperson, they have already shown to the entire world that they are not happy with the way how the BJP government is handling, for which the two MP from the Congress party have been elected. And now they are very vocal in the parliament, in spite of which the central government is not listening to the pain of the people of Manipur, which is very unfortunate. And sometimes, the people have even feel that are we not the citizens of India? That's a big question. And I think that has to also reach to the ear of the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. This is a total failure. It's not about the law and order. If the law has to take its seat, then it is high time Indian government has to be replaced or president rule has to be there. Then only I could see there could be semblance of peace.
Take this question to Dr. Ramanand Singh. Mr. Ramanand Singh, it's not one question. Leadership is about political executive. Rule of law is those who have been given the charge to ensure that there is law and order in Manipur, in which multiple security agencies are involved, multiple people have been given the job to do that. So there are two different functions, two different things. So my question is two-pronged. Is it a leadership issue or is it a rule of law issue?
Kartike, before I answer your questions, I just wanted to raise few things because our spokespersons of the BJP has raised some points. So that need to be clear. Now, as per his information, the Michael Hawkins talk about the government is working on bringing the peace on Manipur's. Now, can you tell me those MLAs and MPs, those MLA ministers are working, in their way. So then my question is, can you give me some work which has been done by two ministers of the Kukijo people who has been missing for about 2 years? What they have done in these 2 years, almost one year and 8 months. What their roles in the Manipur administrations? Number one. Number two is the bringing of ASPA in the 6 districts of the valley is a sign of the peace, or is a signs of the disturbance in Manipur. That need to be very clear about it. Now the next points, Kartika, I just wanted to tell you, totally chaos system in Manipur. Nobody in the government is taking serious point of view, because why the people emotions are coming out because of the crisis, because of the killing of the people. If government has to take the call, even Chief Minister himself is the Home Ministers. He has the sole responsibility to control law and order in Manipur. Whatever way, he has more than 60,000 force from the center with him. He has the Manipur force with him. Why he is still not successful in controlling the Manipur situation in the Manipur? That is the big questions we are asking. Why the people are raising their issues of frustrations, of the emotion in Manipur? If you are capable enough to bring back the peace, people will settle down. People want to live peacefully. What are the people we are demanding in both sides? They are demanding for the peace. Despite the one community is demanding for separate administration, but that is a different issue. Government has to take. Whether the government has to take these kind of the perspective in their government machineries or government function is different issue.
What do you think of separate administration?
Yes, sir.
What do you think of separate administration?
This is what we are confused. How do separate administration has to be applied in Manipur? So that government has to take the call. Government has to has a mechanism to control how to deal with this kind of separate demand of the administration. We are confused because we thought Manipur is one. We are Manipuris. Whether you are Kuki, whether you are Naga, whether you are Meitei, whether you are Meitei Pangal, we are the Manipuris. We live in the Manipur. We deserve to be a Manipuri in our society. So we want
Mr. Ramanand, you know, you're talking about Manipur. Let me play out the bites of those who are actually on the streets. You know, let's listen to them. Let me play out the bite.
सब मिलजुल के लई हिंगोन का संगाफम का मिलके हम लोग अभी प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं। किस लिए? ये हम लोग का ये जो आरामबाई का चीफ, उसको एनआईए ने उसको अभी केस लगाया है, चार्ज लगाया है। ये किस लिए लगाया है? ये हम लोग के लिए, हम लोग को सुरक्षा के लिए वो लोग आया है। ये आरामबाई कोई अंडरग्राउंड नहीं है या यूजी ये ग्रुप वो ग्रुप कुछ नहीं है। कुकी लोग जो मर्जी वो लोग करता है, उसका कोई एनआईए कुछ नहीं करता है। किस लिए करो? हम लोग का ये जो करो, आरामबाई का चीफ को किस लिए वो लोग पकड़ने के लिए एनआईए भेजता है?
Now, the reason why I played this bite is, I would say, Lamjathang, if there is so much of discontent and there is so much of lack of faith, like for example, you have so much of differing opinion on Arambai Tengol. The Kukis believe that they are armed and they don't feel safe when you say Arambai Tengol. When you have such deep divides in civil society, I feel there's a lack of work by people from civil society to bridge this divide. I find this reaction also very worrisome. Mr. Haukip, am I audible to you?
So, like I said, Kartike, the society is now overrun by anti-peace people. Instead of the pro-peace people, the society is now overrun by anti-peace people. That makes the situation complex. So,
no, I think you have a point. Misao, you know, there's a bit of a technical issue with Lamjathang. How can, I'll give a last word to Lamjathang, but he is making a strong point. The voices which are against peace and reconciliation have become stronger than those who want to say we want peace. Isn't that so, Misao?
I cannot understand what he meant by anti-peace and pro-peace. I mean, how do you define peace is important? For us, peace is when we have our demands for separate administration. For the Meitei,
Lamjathang spoke in context of the bite that was given. So my question to Lamjathang was that the people are angry with other community. I mean, so there are no rallies happening where people are saying, well, you know, let's get to the Kukis and talk to them. And there are no rallies happening on the Kuki side. Okay, let's meet some Meiteis and talk to them. You have rallies taking place in their own areas, which is perpetuating anger against each other, not fostering some sort of a dialogue. So it is in that context Lamjathang was speaking. Lamjathang, are you back? Yeah, please finish your point.
So you are giving me the time.
I'll give you the time. You'll have 1 minute. But before that, Mr. Lamjathang Haukip. Yes, please finish your point.
okay, so since the society is now run overpowered by the anti-peace people, it is very difficult for every one of us to come up and talk about peace. But nevertheless, the onus lies on the government. So the government is doing its level best, but because of the sentiment of the people, the suffering of the people, the emotions cannot be controlled overnight. But nevertheless, what is more important is the ongoing violence right from the very beginning, all along the course, was politically motivated with a nefarious agenda, or some people for selfish political gains that has to be investigated, because whenever there is any kind of violence comes up, the individuals or the groups or the elected or the non-elected or the CSOs never fail to grab an opportunity to politicize and instigate, even escalate any kind of unfortunate incident or situation, rather than talking about peace and calling for normalcy. So I think the honest, despite lying to the government, the people, both the two communities and whosoever, in the interest of the general population and the rights of the victims, should be more into finding out a solution to bring peace and end to the violence, because of so many untold sufferings that has been met by the people.
Okay, miss out to you 30 seconds, so you don't say that I don't give you time. 30 seconds to you. I have to hand over the studio. It's going to be 8 o'clock. 30 seconds to you. So you never say that I don't give you time.
Yeah, Kartike, peace without justice cannot be a lasting peace. Therefore, any kind of peace that has to be brought into Manipur has to be with justice. So that justice is something which we demand from the government.
Okay.
Therefore,
I think that's a good line, and I agree with you that peace and justice has to go in together. If you have a sense of justice, the peace will prevail. Justice is a very important part of democracy. It's a very important pillar. I thank all of you for joining me on Point tonight. Thank you for watching this show. Do tune in weekdays at 7 p.m. Good night.
If it's a cancer, then what?
It's very distressing.